Hello everyone, it's DA here bringing you a guide to completing the Swarm Tyrant Stronghold or the Tyrant Mine Stronghold. This is the one with the giant spider. Now in terms of builds, I will say just bring whatever you want, because if you're going to be doing easy, normal and hard, you can bring whatever build you have. Just know that you will be facing spiders in the Scar faction, so this means fire will be very important when you're facing both factions, and ice will be even more important when you are facing the Scar faction. Now there are going to be 4 encounters in total in this stronghold. The first and second somehow is kind of similar, they mimic each other. So how does this work? Well, the goal is going to be to get some of the glowing white orbs of light into this mystical rift right here. And as you expected, enemies will be there to stop you. Some orbs will not spawn until you have defeated certain enemies, so you may want to look around and make sure that certain enemies are not still alive. Your first priority is going to be the turrets in phase 1 and phase 2. The turrets are going to be dealing the most damage. If you have a really good sniper or a colossus with a good heavy, then you can aim for it with a rocket or a sniper. The interceptor is also a great choice for it, so the interceptor can just run up there and just use the melee ability and wipe it clean. Now as you begin to climb up the cliffs, you will meet the Scar enforcers, and these are going to be the guys with the heavy shields. They will tank any damage from the front, and their weak spot is going to be those tanks behind them. So the best way to go around this is to throw a frost or ice grenade, whichever way you want to do it. I know that the ranger has an ice grenade, so toss out an ice grenade, freeze them, get behind them and hit them with anything you have. And of course, if you have a flamethrower with your colossus, then that will do wonders when facing these guys. The first encounter is fairly easy since you will be able to hide behind rocks, and it is basically just easy to follow as well. All you have to do is kill enemies, collect orbs and deposit them. The second encounter is a little bit difficult, mainly because you will be out in the open and not under mountains, and even when you try to hide behind rocks, enemies can sometimes try to flank you and come behind you. So you want to go for the turrets first, as we did in the first encounter, then everything else will become easy. Collect your loot and then move on to the next encounter. Zone 3 is where you encounter the den of spiders. You will be jumping into water at least twice in this encounter. The game will often tell you to pop a flare so that you can see inside the water. A lot of people will be complaining about this. The game will tell you every single time, hey, pop some flares so that you can see in the water, pop some flares. Please pop some flares when you jump into those water, or you're going to be lost in there. But if you don't pop flares, all you have to do is just follow the light until you get out of the water and reach stage 3. Each team member will go and pick up fragments from each door and bring it back to the very center platform. Once you have enough fragments accumulated, you will have to defend that platform from the spiders. And while you're also killing the spiders, after a point in time, the Scar faction will also be spawning in. Never sit on your ultimates. Go ahead and use them. Go for the heavy guys. Tank them. Take them out, because the ultimate will recharge in time as long as you keep on fighting. Now, I've seen people sit on their ultimate several times and I'm just watching like, what are you doing with it? Are you saving it for something else? So go ahead and use it. Don't sit on your ultimate. Once this encounter is over, you will get another chest full of resources, and depending on the difficulty and how you feel, you can head back and quit the mission and keep all your items, or you can move on to phase 4, which is the spider boss itself. This boss has 3 sacks, which are 3 ball sacks on each angle, and those are going to be the weak points. Every enemy here is very weak to fire damage, including the boss itself. So to deal optimal damage, you have to chain combos. Primers and detonators have to follow each other. A lot of you already know what primers are. Primers are basically like adding fuel, and detonators are basically like adding fire or flames to that fuel. So primers help you deal more damage. If a member of your squad goes down, do not revive them unless you have a clear chance, because what is going to happen is that some of these enemies will be guarding the body and trying to make sure that you don't revive them. So what you want to do is you want to draw aggro and take them around in circles so that the enemies can follow you, and then you can come back to your squad mate and revive them. When the spider falls down, that is when it is opened up for the damage phase. This is going to be your time to launch your ultimates or deal the most damage. You who have sniper rifles, flamethrowers, rocket launchers, this is going to be your time to use that. And if you're using a Colossus like I often do, then you can bring out your Colossus and hit him with that ordnance launcher. The more you beat these enemies or these bosses, the harder they get over time, and they will also evolve. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you find this informative. I'll see you in the next one.